Hello, my friends. Good afternoon. I can see Amy. Amy, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Amy, can you hear me? Unmute yourself and talk to me. Anthony, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you have your brothers with you?
They are going to join soon.
They're going to join, eh? Okay, great. Fantastic. So, are you guys ready for the class? Leo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Teacher Ronald.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. Are you ready for the class?
Yes.
Fantastic. Anthony, you're ready for the class?
Yes.
Fantastic. Amy, are you ready for the class? Amy, are you ready for the
Hello.
class?
I think it's hard that.
Amy, please unmute yourself and speak to me. When I call your name, you just unmute yourself and then you speak. Then you mute again. So we can move faster, okay? All right, so we are going to continue our class today from where we stopped yesterday. We had been able to write a program that could ask for the ages. We've feed in the ages of three pupils in a class. Then it would calculate for us the total age. Then get for us the age differences between the age difference between any two of those three pupils. We are going to try and see if we can answer a few other questions. In the process, we are trying to, to think and see how we can solve problems. So I'm going to share my screen and then we will be able to continue from where we stopped. So I ran to trinket.io once again. I am logged in. Okay, so let me share my screen first. Trinket.io. Yes, there we are. Can you see my screen? Okay. Okay. All right. So if you can see my screen, so I am already logged in. I'm going to look for my trinkets. I come to my trinkets. Oh, I'm gonna create a new trinket. Okay. I'm gonna create a new trinket for Python 3.
Sorry, Teacher Ronald, but how do you go to your trinkets?
Look, do you see where I clicked here? Where my account is. Once I'm logged in, my photo is here. I can go and select my trinkets or new trinket. I choose one of these two. I chose to go to new trinket. Okay?
Oh, new trinket. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I went to new trinket and selected Python 3. Okay?
Yes, I've understood.
You've understood, all right? Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Yesterday, I downloaded my trinket and the files that were there. Do you remember? I downloaded whatever I had been doing, I downloaded it. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Amy, are you with us today?
Seriously? What?
Yes, you're around? Please try to move at the same speed with me,
Yes.
okay? Don't wait. I will lose you. I don't want you to wait. Move with me at the same speed, all right? Okay? So, I
Yes.
am going to look for where I saved my trinkets on my computer. You remember when we were creating another file, we clicked on plus. Then when we were downloading, we clicked somewhere on share. And then we say download. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload here. Look at this here. Okay, let me run to this. Look at where I'm circling here. Okay, that's where I'm going to click to upload. So I will locate my file. Once I click there, I will locate my file. My file was saved in Trinket 29th March. So I'll click on main.py. I have it. That is my main.py, which I saved from yesterday. Okay. This was what I had at the end. Now, I remember, Amy, by the time we dropped off, you hadn't written this one. I want you to quickly produce this code and have it as it is on my end here, okay? We are going to begin modifying this file so that we can be able to answer more questions. So what are we doing in here? We said Python program start running from main.py. That is okay. So we have put our code in main.py. When we run, this program is going to be running this file main.py, which tells us to enter the age of the first pupil. We say 8. Second pupil is 11. Third pupil is 11. And it tells us that the total age of the class is 30. The age difference between pupil 1 and pupil 3 is 3. The age difference between pupil 3 and pupil 2 is 0. The only problem here is that we don't know who is pupil 1, who is pupil 2, and who is pupil 3. We have not given them names, but we will be able to give them names. That's the next question we are going to answer. How do we give these pupils names, and how do we keep the names changing? We don't want the names to be fixed. The class today has Leo, has Anthony, it has Amy. What about when we have John, Jane, and Jacob, and we don't have Leo, Anthony, and Amy? Okay? So that's what we are going to be dealing with first. Once we have that answered, we shall clap for ourselves because we will have done something fantastic. So, if you don't have this code the way I have it, I want you to write it on your end. So, this first line, the comment, is not necessary, it's not important. But here, yes, this one is telling us that we should be able to get the ages of the class members. How do we get them? We ask the person running our program to enter those ages at the keyboard. So we call this function the input function. We use it to prompt the user to type something on their keyboard. We use it to do what? To ask the user to type something at their keyboard. The instruction of what they should type, we give it inside the quotation marks here. We give it inside the quotation marks. So the moment you say input, then you tell the person what you want them to input. Okay? We are telling them that input the age of the first pupil. Then they put there, like here I typed 8. Then we are doing the same thing, and whatever they put, we are going to make it an integer. That's why we are converting it into int. So this int here, placing our input into the int brackets, means we are converting whatever they are going to enter for us at the keyboard into a number, a positive or negative number, and we save it in our variable, our bucket. Remember, I called variables buckets at the very beginning. So get the age, change it to integer, save in the bucket, save in a variable. Do you see why I talked about algorithmic thinking? You must know the steps you are following. What are the steps I am following here in the first part of this program? Step number 1 is I am creating a bucket and calling it age 1. That is the bucket that will store the age of the first pupil. All right? Now, what am I going to store in that bucket? I am going to ask the person running my program to type that age at the keyboard. So once I ask them to type it at the keyboard, I will convert it into an integer by simply putting everything they have put at the keyboard in brackets and then pass it to int. Int is built into the Python language. It is Python's way of getting whatever you have given it and makes it an integer. Now, that is on a certain condition. It's not always going to work. The condition is that whatever has been typed is a number. If what has been typed is not a number, it will not be able to convert it into a positive or negative number. Let me give you an example. If I run this program, and instead I say Leo is 8 years in words, instead of typing the digit 8 and say enter, I run into a problem. Error. Oh, age 1 has failed to convert into int because there is an invalid literal for int with base 10, 8. So we don't type, if we intend to convert our things into integers, we don't type their information or data in words. We use numbers, digits. So if I run this program again, and it asks age of first pupil and I put 10, that's going to work because it can convert 10 quickly into a positive 10. So the 10 which is coming from the keyboard is actually a string. It is having quotation marks on it, but it is going to change it into a 10 without quotation marks. Then for the second pupil, I'll put 12. So it will also convert it into 12 without quotation marks so that the calculations in line 10 can go on. Then the third pupil maybe is 13, and then it will run the program and tell us that the total age is 35. The difference is 3 between pupil 1 and pupil 3, and the difference between pupil 3 and pupil 2 is 1. What are the steps we are doing in the first part of the program? We create a bucket, age 1, create another bucket, age 2, create another bucket, age 3, to capture the 3 ages of the pupils in our class. Then ask a person to input the age of the first pupil, convert that age into an integer. An integer is a positive or negative number because a positive or negative number can be used in calculations. If we don't have a positive or negative number, we may not be able to do calculations at this stage. There are other numbers we can use to calculate, but we shall learn about them in future as we go along. For now, let's restrict our calculations to positive or negative numbers. Okay? Amy, Leo, Anthony, are you there? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes.
So we
Yes.
calculate the total age in line 10. After we have our buckets full of values, we now calculate the total age by saying age 1 plus age 2 plus age 3. Then we print. We have put the formatted string, that F there. Today I'm introducing a word called formatted string. A string is a sentence that we enclose in quotation marks like this. That's a string. But when it comes with an F, we call it a formatted what? A formatted string. We call it a formatted string. The formatted string will now tell us that the total age of the class is, then you put the name of the bucket in brackets or the variable total age in brackets. Come here, age difference is a new bucket or a new variable, which will be a calculation of age 3 minus age 1, that is between pupil 1 and pupil 3, okay? Subtract, then run a formatted string in a print. Whenever you see print, we are telling the computer to output that on the screen. You remember that? I said it in the second lesson, all right? Okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. So now that we have this, what I want to do is just one simple thing. Amy, do you have this code written on your side?
I'm almost done with it.
Okay. Leo, do you have this code on your side?
Yes.
Good. And Anthony, do you have this code on your side?
Yes, but today I was using a phone, so I
Why?
don't think I'll be able to predict.
Why didn't you use a computer?
My computer is spoiled.
When did it get spoiled?
Sorry about.
When did it get
It was
spoiled?
spoiled. It was spoiled for a long time, but yesterday it was taken to the mechanic.
So where are your siblings? What are they using?
But then my Carl has a laptop. His isn't spoiled. Ian, he has to download Google Meet.
He doesn't have to download Google Meet. He just needs to open a browser like Google Chrome, and then he'll be able to join Google Meet. Okay? He doesn't have to download Google Meet. On a laptop, maybe on a phone. All right? So look here. I am going now to deal with the issue of names. How do I get the names of these pupils? So what we are going to do, we are going again to go back to our way of thinking through algorithms. So me, I'm thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I'll ask the name of the first pupil, then ask for their age. Then ask the name of the second pupil, then ask for their age. Ask the name of the third pupil, ask for their age. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
When I ask you for your name, you tell me the name. I ask for your age, you tell me the age. Then I go to the next pupil. Ask for the name, ask for the age, you tell me. Then I go to the third one, ask for the name, ask for the age, you tell me, and I proceed. All right? So, let's get going. Amy, have you finished writing the code? I'm going to change it now. Do you have this up to this point?
Up to where?
Up to down here on line 19. Do you have it?
I'm online. I'm on line 10.
You're on line 10. Please run down up to line 19. But you see, these comments are just trying to explain what is going to happen in the next line. So the comment in line 9 tells us what we are going to do in line 10. Remember, all sentences that start with a hash are comments. The computer does not consider those comments when it's running the program. So for it, according to the computer, the program has only line 2, line 4, line 6, line 10, line 11, line 14, line 15, line 18, line 19. The other lines, it's not really considering them when running, okay? Those are for us to understand what is taking place. That is the importance of comments, all right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's quickly run and write um, these other three lines, 14 and lines 11, 14, 15, 18, and 19, okay? So I am going to go to line number 2 and hit enter. Then I will write something in line 2. Again, I'm going to ask for the name of the first pupil. I'm going to say pupil 1. Pupil 1 equals, then I'll ask the person. So the thing is, I would say pupil 1 equals and put the name Leo, and then say pupil 2 equals, put the name Amy, and pupil 3. So I have 3 buckets that are storing the names of my pupils. Anthony. Right? Now I could do that, but like I said, what if these are not the pupils in the class? We have a different set of pupils. We neither have Leo nor Amy nor Anthony. So we have a different class, John, Jen, and Jacob. So what happens? Do we write another program? No. So we ask for the names to be entered. So it means that we will work with the names that have been entered. How do we ask for names to be entered? We use the input. So we type here input. Enter the name of the first pupil. Enter the name of the first pupil. I'll leave a space there. Then do the same thing down here. Input. Enter the name of the second pupil. Leave a space there. Then come here. For pupil 3, I'll do the same thing. So input. Enter the name of the third pupil. Okay, this is interesting. But we said once we ask for the name of the pupil, then we ask for the age. So I'm going to take that one of pupil 3 down, and also take the one of pupil 2 down, just before pupil 2. So I have pupil 1. When I'm done with pupil 1, getting their name and age, then I go to pupil 2, I get their name and age. I have adjusted that code to be like that. Okay? So we are going to run this program and see how it behaves. But before I run it, I want you to have this code on your side, the way I have it right here. All of you try to have this code in the first instance from lines 2 to line 9. We are asking for the names and ages of the pupils. There are 3 pupils. So pupil 1, so we say pupil 1. Enter the name of the first pupil. I could have called it pupil 1 or name 1. Doesn't matter. Let me just say pupil 1. Enter the name. Now, why are we not putting int in line 1? Because there is no need to convert the name into a positive or negative number. We will retain the name as a string that has been typed at the keyboard. Okay? It is only the age, because we are going to do calculations with the age. We are trying to convert that age into a positive or negative number so that we can be able to calculate the sum, calculate the differences with that age. Tell me when you finish making the changes and you are at this point. Anthony, did you know that you can download Trinket on the phone? Which phone are you using?
Samsung.
A Samsung phone can have Trinkets. You can download Trinkets from Google Play. So you can code. The reason why I use trinkets is because you can use them from any device. Huh? Okay, so Leo, do you have this code? Leo, are you there?
Yes.
Have you written this code?
Yes.
Fantastic. Anthony? Oh, okay. Amy?
I'm making with little.
Which line are you now?
The last line.
Line 21?
Yes.
Have you made the adjustments I made in the first few lines? Here? In pupil 1, age 1, pupil 2, age 2, pupil 3, age 3. Have you made those adjustments?
I'm finishing there.
You're finishing there?
I'm finishing there.
Okay. All right. So if you are you through with writing the code now? Have you typed it out on your side? Amy? Leo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's run it. I want to run mine. Then after you also run yours, all right? So I'm going to run my code and see what it gives me and then see what to change. Let's run it. Enter the name of the first pupil, Leo. Enter the age of the first pupil, 8. Enter the name of the second pupil, Amy. Enter the age of the second pupil, 11. Enter the name of the third pupil, Anthony. Enter the age of the third pupil, 11. And then it says the total age of the class is 30. The age difference between pupil 1 and pupil 3 is 3. The age difference between pupil 3 and pupil 2 is 0. Fantastic. The program is running fine. However, the output is still lacking. What is it still lacking? Can someone tell me what is still lacking? Leo, do you want to try that? What can we improve? Yes, we have got the name Leo, Amy, and Anthony. Where have we used those names in our output? Nowhere. We are still saying the age difference between pupil 1 and pupil 3 is 3. Who is pupil 1? Who is pupil 3? Do you understand? So, can we change the output to say the age difference between pupil 1, it replaces it with the name we entered, Leo, and then pupil 3, it puts the name Anthony, and then does the same thing here. It puts here Anthony, puts here Amy, and then it will be making a little more sense. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Are you sure? You're sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I get.
Amy, you think so?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Anthony, are you still with me?
Yes.
Are you following? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to say age difference. So I'm going to come to line number 17. The age difference between pupil 1. Since this is a formatted string, I can replace pupil 1 with a bucket name, with a variable name. I put here pupil 1, pupil 1. Then put here pupil 3 with a bucket name. Oh, variable name. Sorry. I just put those in curly brackets. It's as simple as that. We've already seen this. I'll still come here and do the same. I'll put pupil 3, the bucket name, and then pupil 2, bucket name, variable name. Okay? Like that. Please make those changes and then we run the program. Let's see how it looks like. Okay? Hello? Good afternoon. I'm in the class teaching. Let me call you after. Thank you. All right. So, have you made those changes? We have simply introduced bucket names, variables, so that instead of telling us that the age difference between pupil 1 and pupil 3 is 3, it will tell us the age difference between, and it will replace those pupils with their names that we have captured. Remember, somebody typed those names on the keyboard for us. We have captured those names, and now we are going to output them. After this, we are going to work on an activity. After this, we are going to have to do an activity where we will try out these things to see how they work on our own. Yeah? So,
So I have copied down the code.
come again?
I have copied the code.
On your phone?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Have you tried to run it?
It works perfectly.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens on my end. Amy, please make sure you have the same code like I do. You're saying I'm not clear. I think your connection might also not be very good. Okay, all right. So let me run it on my end. Let's see what I've got. Run. Enter the name of the first pupil, Leo. Do you see now? It says the total age of the class is 30. The age difference between Leo and Anthony is 3. And the age difference between Anthony and Amy is 0. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. How about if I decide that I want to create some spaces immediately after the first line, the total age of the class is 30. and to put some space before we run the next line, and then put some space before we run the third line so that they are not congested. You see right now, this is how they are looking like. I want to just create some spaces. What do I do? Do you remember? I don't know. Maybe you do. But this is what we do. Do you remember the new line character? In our second lesson, we did the new line character. Do you remember?
Yes.
So we are going to put the new line character. So we will quickly run here. We will come to where we are saying the total age of the class is this. After we have put the bucket name, we will put \n. Okay? So let's run it and see if it does what we want. We have so far put it only on one of those. Leo, age 8. Amy, age 11. Anthony, age 11. Okay. Do you see that there is a space after the first sentence of the total age of the class? And then there is a space. Then we go to the next. Do you see that? I have changed my output. I've made it neater or cleaner. Yeah. I may not want even this one to be close to this line which says enter the age of the third pupil. I might want to also change it. I'll put a backslash at the beginning here. \n before I start running the sentence, the total age of the class. So I will still come back and put \n on line 17 before I close the quotation marks. Do the same thing in line 21. Before I close the quotation marks, put \n. We called \n the new line what? Character. It creates a new line immediately after whatever comes before the \n. So now I'm going to run it again one more time. Name of the first pupil. Okay. Now there are spaces. After this, before the total age, there is a \n, which gives us this space here. Then we have the sentence. The total age of the class is 30. There's a \n, which gives us a new line. So this space is accounted for by this \n here. Then I run the next, which is the age difference between those. So again, after that age difference, we put a \n here, line 17. Yeah. Then this gives us this new line. Then we have the age like I do. You're going to show me your screens just to be sure that you have the same code like I do have here before we continue. Yeah. Why did I put the \n? Leo, can you tell me?
To go to a new line and make it neater.
Fantastic. I'll give you a hand clap. Okay? All right. So, Amy, are you there?
Yes.
I want you to tell me why on line 2 I don't have int, but on line 3 I have int. Tell me why I have int on line 3, but I don't have int on line 2. Are you there?
Yes.
Tell me. You want to try it? Anthony, you want to try that? Try to help Amy to give me an answer? Anthony, are you there? I'm asking, why is it on line 2? I
Yes.
don't have int, but on line 3, I have int before the input.
Because on line 2, we're supposed to put a name and not a number. And in line 3, we're supposed to put numbers.
And those numbers will have to be converted to integers. That's positive or negative, okay? Before we use them. Why do we have to convert them to integers? Because when they are typed in at the keyboard, they come with some quotation marks. They are typed in as strings, but we must convert them to integers before we do calculations. Is that understood?
Yes.
Amy, do you now get my point?
Yes.
You cannot calculate, you can't do calculations when those numbers still have those quotation marks, eh? Okay? So anything typed at the keyboard comes with quotation marks. That is a major rule of the Python language. Whenever you ask someone to type something at the keyboard, remember it comes as a string. It comes as a what? As a string. Okay?
A string.
Yes, a string comes with quotation marks on it. So you can't do calculations when it still has quotation marks on it, okay?
Yes.
Leo, are you together with us?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, do you guys have the same code like I have on my screen?
Yes, almost.
Almost? Okay. Amy, are you done?
Almost.
Almost. Anthony, are you done?
Yes.
Okay. Please hurry up. We are going to modify it again. Hey, hey. That's the interesting bit about code. You keep modifying it as you go along. We're going to modify this code again, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going to tell you a new trick we're going to do to modify it. Instead of telling us that enter the name of enter the age of the first pupil, we will now say enter the age of Leo, because we already know Leo's name that has been entered. So you enter the name, then we use that very name to ask you to give us the age of that person. So the computer will be knowing the name since it has been entered. Do you get it?
Yes.
Do you think it's a nice modification?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Won't it make our program much better?
Yes.
Okay. Then we're going to try it and see how it works. So tell me when you're done with writing the code as I have it here on your side in your trinket. Anyone done with the code? Are you guys there?
Almost.
How far?
I'm done with writing. I'm just running the code.
Run it and tell me if it works, okay? If it doesn't work, tell me so we can try to find the problem, huh? Amy, how far?
I'm remaining with very little.
Okay.
I'm done.
You're done? Has it run well?
Yes.
Anthony, are you done?
Yes.
Has it run?
Yes.
Do you want to share your screen? Do you know you can share your screen on a phone? Do you want to share your screen?
I'm not sure I can share.
You can. Just go to present and share. It will bring the screen. This time it will not ask you to choose tab, window, entire screen. It will just bring the screen. You just go to the program and you show us the trinkets and you show us. That's it. It's simple. We'll be able to see. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to make some modification. I hope we are all done with the code. We have it as it is right now. Just to confirm, Anthony, do you have the code as is right now?
Yes.
Okay, Amy, do you have it as it is?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes. Yes.
Have you run it?
I'm,
Come again. You're running it?
I'm yes.
Okay. How about Leo?
I guess.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, guys, I'm going to make some small modification, which is going to be that in line 2, when we say enter the name of the first pupil, we wait for feedback from the keyboard. So the person will type there Leo or whatever name it is. Then when I come to ask for the age, so I'm going to introduce a formatted string on the input, which is in line 3. Okay? So I'll place an F there before the quotation marks. And then where I say the first pupil, I'm going now to put the bucket name of the first pupil. What is the bucket name of the first pupil? It's pupil 1. Okay? So it will be asking enter the name or the age of pupil 1. The age of, it will put the name that was entered there. And then the same thing I'm going to do in line 6. Introduce a formatted string in line 6. And then the phrase, the second pupil, will disappear and be replaced by the bucket name of second pupil, which is pupil 2. Okay, the same thing I'm going to do in line 9. Put an F and then say enter the age of, and then put the variable name of the third pupil, pupil 3. There we have it. I am done. So I am going to run this code, and it says enter the name of the first pupil. In our case, we have been saying it remains the same. The total age of the class is 30. The age difference between Leo and Anthony is 3. The age difference between Anthony and Amy is 0. Wow, does that look nicer? What have I done? I've just introduced the formatted string in the input function. Before that, we have been using the formatted string in the print function, but I've also introduced it in the input function. So, as long as what we are putting in the curly brackets as a bucket name already exists, so by the time we are in line 3, bucket name pupil 1 or variable pupil 1 already exists. It was, we said, declared. It was declared in line 2. The first time you use a variable, we say you have declared that variable. So we are able to use pupil 1 in line 3 because it was declared in line 2. We are able to use pupil 2 in line 6 because it was declared in line 5. If we try to use pupil 2 in line 3, what will happen? Run. Enter name of the first pupil, Leo. Problems. Why is it saying problems? It's saying it's not defined. Okay. So you only use what has been declared before. So when we are at line 3, we don't know, the program doesn't know about pupil 2 until it moves to line 5. You understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes.
What I'm saying is that Python programs run line by line. When you are in line 3, it knows about the variables that were declared before. So we can use those variables in our formatted string in the input function or print function. So by the time we are in line 3, pupil 1 is already known because it was declared in line 2. At this point, we can't use pupil 2 because pupil 2 is not yet declared. So we declare or define it in line 5. Then we can use it in line 6. The same thing here. Pupil 3 is declared in line 8 or defined in line 8. And then it is used in line 9. So the computer can understand that. You have a logical way of writing your things. So you can now run the program. This time let's change the names. We have Jen, John, and Jacob. So first pupil is Jen. She's an age mate of Leo. The second pupil is John. He's an age mate of Amy. And the third pupil is Jacob. He's an age mate of Anthony. And therefore, the output of the program remains the same. Did you get that? So what we have been able to achieve today, we have written a program which is not restricting us in terms of the names of the pupils in the class. We can use different names. So if we pick any 3 random pupils from the class, we can use their names. We can also capture their ages. The ages are not cast in stone. So the program is not restricting us in terms of age. And it will still be able to give us the output with the names displayed, so we will know what exactly we are talking about. If it's talking about the age difference between Jen and Jacob, we can know. The age difference between Jacob and John, we can tell. So that is what we have been able to achieve today. We have modified the program we wrote yesterday, and we have made it less restrictive. It's not restricting. It is not stopping us from running it for a class that does not have Leo, Amy, and Anthony. It is now allowing us to run it for any other class, any three guys, any three students, any three pupils that we pick from the class. We capture their names, capture their ages, and then the program will tell us what the total age is and what the age difference between any two of them is. Okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you understood?
Yes.
Are you sure? Now it is time for each of you to share your screens. I need to be sure that you have code that runs that is like mine. So who goes first?